State Representative and Congressional candidate Mike Johnson standing by. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hey, guys. Good to hear your voice.
Donald Trump, if he makes good on his campaign promise, will cut off funds to sanctuary cities, 3 of which are in Louisiana. Well, there's New Orleans Parish, and according to ICE at least, Lafayette Parish.
Look, this is quite a saga in Louisiana. During the last regular session, we tried to ban state funding for these sanctuary city policies in our state, and it was an all-out battle. Jeff Landry, Attorney General, and I went to bat, and we got it through the House of Representatives, as some people will remember, after quite a battle. And then we got killed in a hostile Senate committee. And it was beyond me why they would argue that, these cities should be able to really ignore federal law. And it's a matter of public safety. I mean, look, if Donald Trump fulfills this promise, which he certainly should, New Orleans is going to have to come into compliance. I mean, they can tie the receipt of federal funding to this. They have every right to do that. The Congress should have done it a while back. We have over 350 sanctuary cities around the country now. And it's a public safety matter now. I mean, when laws are ignored, people aren't safe. And that's what we've been arguing from day one.
When it was knocked down, when it was stopped in committee, I assume there was debate. I assume there was what you might call reasoning and or logic from the other side. What was that as to why Louisiana, literally you're saying Louisiana needs sanctuary cities? Not you, but the opponents of your bill.
Yes, they did. There was no reason and logic. It was all this hyper-emotional kind of nonsense about how we're not caring enough, and that the state government should not be able to tell cities how to do their business. Well, that's nonsense. The question is, why should anybody else obey laws if our leaders won't, right? John Adams was trying to explain the difference in our founding era between an empire and a constitutional republic. And he said, in an empire, you get a dictator who gets to decide what the law is and what he wants to enforce. That's not how we do it here. He said, we're a nation of laws, not of men. We can't allow lawlessness on the municipal level. We can't allow these mayors to just pick and choose which federal laws they want to comply with, because, again, it's creating a public safety crisis. Look, Senator Chuck Grassley is an Iowa Republican. He documented over 120 murders related to illegal aliens that have been set free by President Obama's policies just since 2010, guys. And illegal immigrants accounted for almost 3/4 of all federal drug convictions last year alone. The Center for Immigration Studies says more than 8,000 unauthorized immigrants with criminal records, okay, these are people with criminal charges, have been released by these sanctuary cities back into our communities. This is a dangerous situation, and we have got to get control of it.
Let's talk about the ones who are not dangerous, who just need safety. They just need a safe space to be. What's the answer for them, Mike?
Look, it's a good point, Erin. We're not accusing all illegal aliens of breaking additional laws, okay? But they clearly are not following our nation's policy with regard to legal immigration. And immigration laws have a purpose. I mean, they're designed to screen out criminals and people who may be a danger, people who may become a charge upon the public is the phrase that's pulled out of the immigration laws. And that means who would be overly dependent on public assistance. We have our legal immigration system in place for a number of good reasons. And if we just willingly decide that we're not going to follow those laws, there's all sorts of consequences that come from it. Look, we have a huge heart for those who are fleeing, terrible situations in other countries, but they've got to follow our law, and they've got to come here in the manner in which everyone before them has come legally.
And
that's an important thing for us to pursue.
According to the New Orleans police, they literally are refusing to give any information about illegal immigrant detainees. The federal government, because of sanctuary cities, is completely unable to find out who they have, meaning the cities, and what they might have done.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so as a consequence, we know for a fact they are harboring dangerous people. I mean, this is not some sort of theoretical threat. We have the statistics now. There's no official stats, Robert, kept on crimes committed by illegal aliens, because it would be too politically embarrassing for liberals who support all this nonsense. But we can go back and track it, as some of these, the Republicans in Congress have done. And by the evidence, after a crime is committed, after they catch someone who's committed these dangerous crimes, they can go back and backtrack and figure out who is here illegally. And the numbers are just staggering. And that's the point. This is about public safety. It's about the rule of law. And when we undermine the rule of law, it leads to chaos and anarchy. And that's why these, mayors like we have in the city of New Orleans better get with the program. I think Donald Trump's exactly right. And those in Congress who are there should fight for it. I would do that if I'm sent there because I think it's the right thing to do.